the Torah portion yesterday led out with description about how we're supposed to come to the festivals of Jerusalem. So I just wanted to kind of cover that. It says not to come to the feast empty-handed, and then before it gave a description of what we're supposed to do. So in the time of the temple, there were 3 tithes, two normative tithes, and one tithe that would have been taken as either a percentage of it. It would be divided into 3, or you could wait until the 3rd year. So every 3rd year, this tithe would be taken for the expressly to be given to the storehouse. This is the prophecy that's given in the book of Malachi, where I know a lot of Pentecostals and faith preachers will say, "Don't steal from God." It says in Malachi that you're supposed to tithe but that's also, we're supposed to tithe to the storehouse. There is no storehouse, right now. Let's talk about the temple. The Levites would have taken those up. In individual cities, there would have been money for the poor. A tithe that was every year was a tithe that would be in for the upkeep. You would give this to the Levite for his upkeep. Also, this is the one that was addressed in the closing for Shemini Atzeret, was the discussion about a personal tithe that would have been taken for you and your family to participate. Judaism is one of the only religions in the world where God gives us a command to party, right? I've had to discuss this discussion with my boss and several bosses, and they're like, "What do? You pray, and what do you do for your holidays?" And I said, "Well, we just party." Like, what do you mean you just party? So, well, we eat and we party, right? Except for the one where we don't eat and then we party after, yeah, because it's basically all our holidays come together. They tried to kill us. They didn't win. Let's eat, right? And so Hashem was like, "Look, just enjoy yourself. Life's hard enough. Come together and and party, right?" So this particular tithe, this would have been considered the second tithe, right? So the first tithe is to the Levite. Okay, this is a tithe that, for all intents and purposes, we can't do today. Now, there are Levitical positions within a lot of the larger synagogues, right? They have what's considered a Levite in residence, right, or a Cohen in residence. So some people would say, find your local Cohen, find your local Levite, and you give to them. But it was done through the temples, predominantly done through the temple service or the temple, or it was done through your local community. So there would be a Levite serving for your local community. So each individual Levitical family would have to partake in kind of a lottery system, and this would determine. We see this discussed in the story of Mary's cousin, right? Her husband was chosen by lottery to go serve in the temple. So basically, every year there was a lottery taken, and then each individual Levite who was of the line of Aaron were sent to the temple to serve in the role of Cohen. Okay, so that leaves us basically with one tithe that we can really do today, right? Now, I think we should be mindful that that for our sages say that we shouldn't give more than 20%. It's kind of unheard of, that a religion would say, well, don't give too much, right? But Judaism is a religion of making sure that you're not extreme on either end. My wife was very much into a system of teachings called Musar, right? And the Musar masters would say that we have to be careful of giving. We have to be careful of doing mitzvot where it's unequal, right? We don't want to do too much. We don't want to do too little, right? We have to have a balance, moderation, right? For instance, if somebody can give too little and somebody can give too much, right? Somebody can they can give so much that it hurts their family, right? They take money off or food off their family's table, right? So, we can all do the 10% tithe. This is so that we can all participate in the feast. This is things that gasoline to be able to drive to the area. This is all year long. You can take 10%, start saving up so that we can come in. I was reading somewhere that when you would get to Jerusalem, there'd be places where there would be communal food, right? And you didn't know what was your food, what was your food. You gave it to the community, and then it was just it was given out for everybody to engage in, right? That's the goal, but everybody should be able to contribute, right? It says very explicit that when we show ourselves men 3 times a year, these are Sukkot, Passover, and Shavuot. All right. I was discussing with Ruben the other day. Now it says in between Sukkot you can work, right? But let's say put yourself in the position of somebody that was living in Israel at the time when Moshe was giving this out. Before, as people were going into the land, right? They had to go from their home. Say for instance, you lived in southern Israel, right? And so you spent your entire time. Well, you had to go several days, or 3-4 days, walking, with your family or with your packed down with donkeys. It took a long time to walk there, right? So you're not just going to all of a sudden say, okay, well, 2 days of Sukkot, I got to get back and get my. You would stay there, right? Because it would by the time you got home, you would have to come right back, right? So it was an all-week festival, right? And so this is something that we had to have money saved up so that we could participate. So I think this is one of the mitzvot that it is available for us to do these days. I would say traditionally the tithe is 10%, but there's no Cohen knocking on your door. There's no, I've heard that the what's it called? The Mormons, they make you sign something and you got to give over your bank account and make sure that your 10% comes out. Where the Benei Avraham is not going to get a hold of your bank account. We're not going to chase you down and make sure you're tithing 10%. So it's up to you. It's individual, okay? But so that we can start to prepare for what is going to be like when Mashiach comes, we can start to prepare ourselves by making sure that we tithe that, right? We can break it up into 3 tithes, but we can definitely do the 10% to prepare, because we want to get to a place eventually where it's just so much money and that we're left over, and we can contribute throughout the year. So Baruch Hashem, that Hashem wants us to party. He wants us to enjoy ourselves, but we also can take this time and what Hashem has told us to prepare to be able to provide not only for ourselves and our family, but the community as well. Baruch Hashem.
Just a little follow-up though. Yeah, my mom asked me the other day, like, how come you don't pass the plate, to collect offering? And I explained to her that Jews do not handle money or credit cards on Shabbat and Yom Tovs. So we do have a tzedakah box in the shelf under the Sidurim, but ideally, if you want to give, you have to give before or after Shabbat and Yom Tov. And we also have a way to give online. And we do appreciate, when people contribute, because we do spend quite a bit of money to keep things going. There's not only our house, and our children give a lot of their time too, and with food and the lights and, electricity and just the building and upkeep of everything. But also we give a portion to people in need, members, and also we have an Indian congregation that we support, and they are a third world country, so they can't afford things that we can here. It's very humbling, the way they live. And also we support various Jewish organizations like the Temple Institute, some of our rabbis that guide us in conversions and halakha and things like that, and Chabad, because we use their resources a lot, and different organizations like that. So that's where the tzedakah goes to when you contribute to Benei Avraham. It's very normal in Jewish synagogues to require a membership fee, and it's usually very expensive. And so what happens is that there's a very expensive membership fee, and then for people who can't afford it, the rich people in the congregation will cover it for the people who are not very financially endowed. But I feel like in our congregation, probably the majority of us are struggling right now, so we don't require any kind of membership fee, and we just trust that everyone will give as they can, as Hashem blesses them. So Ruthie wants to share something now.
Just kind of like a follow-up on what my dad said about tithing. In my portion Teruma, it says specifically when God asked him to bring resources to help build the tabernacle, he says out of the generosity of their heart. He doesn't say bring resources to me like right now. He says bring them to me out of the generosity of your heart. And yes, he has commandments, but I always thought that was amazing, because he's not telling us to do it. He's asking us from the generosity of our heart, because he wants us to give, but he's not going to make us do that. Yeah.
Me.